The other day I was all like, man, this girl's talking about it. Yeah, size matters. And I was all like, baby, it ain't about the size of the boat. It's the motion in the ocean. Hey Player 1, Player 2, it's Mike the Gaming Animator. Welcome back to Animated Tech. Today we'll be talking about, I didn't even get the model number of this on the TV, so.
You didn't get that.
Well, you don't even know the model number?
No.
Oh man, let me see what is this crap.
You need some light back there?
No man. Hey there, Player 1 and Player 2, it's Mike the Gaming Animator, and today I'm going to be talking about 75-inch TVs. It's really going to be a kind of a multi-series part television series because I've had the opportunity to be able to see what options I have with 75-inch TVs. I wanted to do a breakdown. Unfortunately, my cameraman doesn't even know the model of the television we bought, so you'll probably just have to see the letters right here as far as what model I'm talking about today. But it is a Sony. I'm quite sure. What?
It's the 850.
First of all, see, this is why you're gonna get your pay deduction. The fish are not swimming.
Man. Oh man.
We just told these folks about some boat in the motion, and there ain't no water. Hey there, Player 1 and Player 2, it's Mike the Gaming Animator, and I'm back here on Animated Tech reviewing 75-inch TVs. Today, I wanted to be able to bring to you a Sony XBR class television. I believe it's the 850 model. Unfortunately, my cameraman was not able to be able to give me the resources that were necessary to be able to have the model number listed for it. So I'll probably just have the tag for the model number TV listed right here. So carrying on from there, folks. So in today's episode, what I want to do that's a little bit different, I want you to have the opportunity to be able to see different classes of televisions. Most of the times you always have your buddies like, "Ooh, this is the best TV ever because it's big," but why?
How does he know about my insecurities?
We have our QLEDs, we have our Sony brands, we have OLED. What's the best option? Well, today here, folks, I bring to you the Sony 850 series, as I mentioned earlier. One thing I can definitely say that I would recommend this for, this here is for the connoisseur who's into gaming specifically. I'm not going to say that it's going to be, per se, the best picture quality, but if you do compare to Samsung's other competitive price points for introductory 75-inch TVs, some of the benefits that you'll get from this particular model is the fact that it is manufactured from a brand that does film. It does do gaming. So for those of you that have Xbox One X's, you'll actually benefit a lot from this particular TV in more ways than you would believe. Number one, because your Xbox One is a 4K Blu-ray player, you'll be able to take advantage of HDR. You will be able to take advantage of the 4K full-scale picture quality. Don't get me wrong, PS4 players, you do have the PS4 Pro. You can also take advantage of 4K. You can also take advantage of HDR. However, Xbox One does have the advantage by being able to play native 4K Blu-ray content. So if they're wanting to watch movies with HDR, you do have a purpose to be able to consider this. Although, with both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One owners, both of you guys do have Blu-ray players built into them. So those of you that have ever considered trying to see what does 4K look like, but maybe just don't have a Blu-ray player that can do it, they do have the mastered in 4K Sony lineup films. You can probably get it for bargain now because those versions of the same films are now available on native 4K Blu-ray, which this TV does have the ability of doing what, like I said, mastered in 4K settings. But as I mentioned, some of the benefits about purchasing this particular model will be the fact that it does have a smart app built into it. You would think that that's something that should be native, but you never know. There are some brands like Roku out there that just really don't have the smart stuff that's made for it. But my personal opinion with this particular experience I've had with these TVs, I used to have the Bravia model series of Sony's, and I personally loved it. It kind of had the PlayStation UI interface on it, and I really enjoyed it. However, one of the biggest issues that I've kind of feel like I've run across with this particular model is the fact that the remote control, in my opinion, is a little complicated. There is a little bit of a learning curve. It's not super intuitive as far as being able to pick it up and use it. Bear in mind, my cameraman up here, he says for him, his experience based off of what he had with, say, Samsung in the past, he feels that it is a little bit more, there has more advanced options. My experience as a plasma owner for back in the day, I feel that the smart app features on Samsung's televisions are just a tad bit more integrated. They're a little bit more faster. It's a little bit more friendlier. So that's just my personal opinion. In regards to who would this particular TV be made for, I'll say this. I'm going to break it in categories. If you're planning on just having all around like gaming session, or you want to be able to watch movies, I think this is a great midpoint consideration due to its price point. There are some other competitors you may want to consider, such as Samsung's higher end models QLEDs or even LG's OLEDs, but however, you will not be looking at a 75, you'll probably be looking at a maximum 65. Though there is a competitor James 6300 series from Samsung that does make a 75-inch, which I personally own that model and I do enjoy it. Although the Samsung is limited on how many HDMI 2.0 plugins are on here. On this particular TV right here, I believe all the 4 HDMI slots that are on this particular TV are HDMI 2.0 ready, so you can use HDR on all the actual inputs on this TV. So that is a big win if you have multiple game consoles, multiple 4K Blu-ray players. I know that sounds stupid saying that, but I'm just saying, in case you do have multiple things that use HDR, this is a win for you. I think it's great for gaming, and I think you're still going to get a solid performance as far as picture clarity. Remember, it's Sony. Sony manufactures cameras. Sony manufactures movies. Sony specializes in gaming, so this is their expertise of what they do. You can't really go wrong with an all-around Sony price point television. I think that you could probably scoop it up for a sale price point of maybe $2,000. I think the sale in retail stores maybe $22. I think the normal retail for some of this TV is maybe $25, $27. So just bear in mind as far as what your budget might be. If you have any questions, please send me a comment. I will be more than happy to go ahead and respond back to you. Once again, this is Mike, the Animator, signing out on Animated Tech. This is the best part. You're seeing life, folks. We spent like 3.5 hours doing this setup, and he only had one simple job. Just make the fish swim.